I have this brilliant memory. Angela and I have the home defense dildo. Still, it's a steel rod enforced dildo. And I remember you and myself and a couple of other people having a competition on who could deep throat it farther.
I have a video of that still. It's around your table in your old place.
Yes.
And Lawrence is at the top, like the tip of the table.
Yes.
And hey guys, welcome back to Swapping Secrets. My name is Jess.
My name is Lawrence.
And if you guys haven't already, please don't forget to spank that subscribe button so we can get more followers, please. However, today's topic is the sexiest thing you can do is set a boundary.
So, jealousy, boundaries, big feelings. Open relationships aren't just about freedom, they're about emotional fluency, communication, and self-awareness. Together we'll explore what jealousy actually is. Spoiler, it's really about the other person. How to set boundaries without killing the vibe, and why emotional resilience is the hidden superpower of every successful open relationship. So today's episode, we have some lovely guests, Bradford and Angela, who are the hosts of By the By podcast. We've spoken about them many times on this podcast. They've even been guests on the podcast before. And together they have a globally loved show exploring bisexuality, open relationships, and the messy, delicious realities of non-monogamy. Known for their humor, mostly Angela, honesty, sometimes Bradford,
Rude.
and lived experience as a long-term ethically non-monogamous couple, they become trusted voices for people navigating play, communication, and connection across orientations and relationship structures. Welcome, Bradford and Angela, to Swapping Secrets.
Good God, did you guys know you were such a mouthful?
I know.
Yeah.
Wow.
I want Lawrence to write my next CV.
I know.
It's Gabe. I'm just the reader. I'm a showman. I have no substance.
Me too.
Oh God.
Just a pretty face.
Yeah.
Yay. Thank you for having us
welcome
on.
back,
Yeah, thank you.
Well, thank you for the mouthful and welcome to the podcast. Before I fuck it up again, let me get to what we are going to be talking about in just the tip. It's a little game that Gabe has come up with called Communicate This. I have no idea what it is.
It's the boundary translation challenge to be revealed in just the tip.
Yes, but I don't know what the game actually is.
Oh, we're going to find out?
We're going to figure it out when we get to just the tip.
I
So
like
both
these,
you and
yeah.
I actually don't know what type
Awesome.
of game we're playing, but you guys can play along when we get to it.
I like playing games I don't know what I mean. I'm just saying.
There's a butt. It comes out of the butt again, so our favorite butt is back. But
So let's get into the key points. Let's have a chat.
Yeah, let's have a little dive deep into boundaries.
So there was the first question about, we wanted to obviously unpack some terms, and things starting at jealousy is kind of maybe a base level of understanding. So we want to talk about what is jealousy and what it isn't, as well as I think is an important distinction to draw.
So this is something that Angela and I have talked countless times about. I think we even did a podcast on it at one point. For us, I think it's important to sort of understand jealousy, envy, and FOMO, fear of missing out. And I'm sure there's other categories, but that was for us the groups that we really looked at, and what each of those are and what each of those mean to us and to our relationship.
Are we going to get into it?
Do you want me to dive into that?
Yes, please. Tell us more, Bradford. I would love to hear more.
That's more of what I wanted.
Yeah, sorry. More enthusiasm there.
Come on, Lawrence. So for me, the thing that I feel the most often is fear of missing out.
Yeah.
It's that you're doing something or your partner's doing something and you would like to do that, but you don't have the opportunity. Maybe that's work, maybe that's life, maybe that's interest. So that's that fear of that's not really jealousy. That's sort of like, I'm still happy for what you're doing, but I'm like, man, I wish I could do that too. Envy is along that line of, you have something that I want. So you have an opportunity, or you have a partner, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, whatever, an experience. And I'm envious of that. Again, that's not jealousy. I think we use that as such a negative term, especially in our community. And and honestly, even myself, we've been doing this now for a long time, 15 years. And I think that in the past, I saw jealousy as this really negative thing. And it's because I used it as an all-encompassing term. envy is not a bad thing. It is one of the 7 deadly sins, but it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's what you do with it.
Yeah, I can't even remember. I've lost track of how I've come to this definition of each of jealousy and envy. I'm not even sure if they're the actual, whatever the
Oxford English Dictionary.
Yeah, whatever the Oxford English Dictionary prescribes as the definition. But between Michelle and I, jealousy is, I'm going to be contrary to you, is like the more negative aspect of like, you have something and I want it, but to take it away from you. It's like, I want to have it and you can't have it either.
Like selfishly.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
like envy is that you have this, I would like some too, but not to take it away from you. Does that make sense?
I can
It's
accept
like,
that. Yeah.
It's just a thing that it's that FOMO.
Jealousy is a possession thing.
Yeah.
It's possessiveness for me.
And I see
It's
envy.
like, no, that's my ball.
Yeah.
And you take it away. But it's just like, oh, I love that ball. I wish I had a ball.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So but it's just, I don't want to take it away from you. Yeah.
Yeah, I see envy as more of a, you're having an experience and I really wish I were part of that, but I can't. And that's where, I kind of start to feel like this is not great because I want to be a part of it. But at the same time, I don't want to take it away from you. Whereas jealousy is, you're having an experience, I want to be part of it, but if I can't be, you can't be either.
So thinking of that, so obviously there's those two different kind of envy and jealousy. What's the best way to figure out some of those trigger points before you get into that? Because I can picture some of these emotions coming up during swinging situations, especially inside the venue. I think a lot of people just automatically think, oh, my partner's playing with another person, that's automatically jealousy. But what are maybe some of those trigger points or at least those little signs that you're like, that's not actually jealousy, that's envy? I know it's a bigger question than
It's a big
I
question.
thought.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Do you want to take the lead on this?
I would think of it as, because we've been in situations at the club where, one of us will be playing with someone. In fact, I can think of a specific situation where there was someone you really wanted to play with, and I did as well. But at the same time, your desire was higher than mine, and it was late at night. We'd had a long week, and I was at the point of, I'm tired. I want to go home now. And he was like, oh, hey, let's go upstairs and play. And I was just kind of like, okay. And and it was a bit of that, I want to be part of it. So yes, I was envious that you were interested and able and ready to go play at that point. But yet I was exhausted. I was like, I don't really want to. But at the same time, I didn't want to take it away from you. And so it was kind of being like, okay, fine, you can have that experience, but I don't really want to do this at the moment. Like maybe at some other point. But I don't want to be like, no, I'm tired, we're going home, and you can't play either.
It's really interesting because I know exactly what you're talking about, and you were 100% correct with that. You were 100% correct with that. In that, I knew as well this was going to be one of those opportunities ever. We were never going to get into this perfect storm again to play with this person. It just was not going to happen.
Yeah. So you're carpeing them dams.
I was trying to carpe them damn dams. And I still remember how lackluster and unfun the experience was because I was so worried about Angela's feelings towards the situation.
Yeah.
And it was one of those rare moments where we didn't actually communicate well before.
No.
And part of that was because I was lust blind. And part of it was, and in the moment I was kind of like, this is fine, but like it would honestly have been more fun just Angela and I playing.
Yeah. Yeah. A couple more things about like jealousy and envy before getting into boundaries.
Sorry, we jumped ahead.
No. That's not. I wasn't jumping. You weren't jumping ahead. I don't think. Where do you think jealousy comes from, or envy? What kind of emotions are attached to it?
That's a good question. Look at you, Barbara Walters.
I'm going to say,
Thanks, Gabe.
I'm going to say past trauma for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
But also a lot of it for me is insecurity. And so whether it's insecurities about myself, about our relationship, I also notice it more if my basic needs aren't being met. So like if we're not having as much intimacy, touching, closeness, sex, maybe experiences with other people, it doesn't matter what it is, but if I don't feel like I'm taken care of and I'm okay, then I'm going to be much more likely to have those feelings when either of us enters a situation or we both enter a situation.
I 100%. It's that negative. It's a cancer that can spread very quickly depending on how aware you are of yourself.
Yeah.
I mean, like anybody in this community, be it polyamory, be it swinging, any kind of open relationship, kink community, like we have to be very self-looking. You've got to be really understanding where are these feelings coming from. And I agree, trauma and the problems that I travel a lot for work,
Yep.
which means two things. One, it means that I have opportunity for play on the road. And two, it means that sometimes my communication skills suck. And they're like, we're not phone call.
I do.
All the men in this room going, our communication sometimes sucks.
And I pride myself in my communication. I pride myself in allowing myself to feel emotions, both good and bad. And I think that is something that if you're a male-bodied person, that is definitely something you should allow yourself, positives and negatives. But we aren't phone call people. A lot of people, when they're traveling, they call in the morning, they call in the evening. We're texting all days, people. And so that kind of touching base helps set the foundation. Before you can build a house, you have to have a strong foundation, which goes into probably what you're going to want to talk about next, which is the boundaries. But we've seen so many people, singles and couples, think that they're going to come into into OSS and it's going to save their relationship, or it's going to change the way they view relationships. It's going to do this. It's going to do that. We've talked about this before. I think we've spoken about this with you all. It's a magnifying glass. If there's a crack, it becomes a crevice, and a crevice becomes a canyon. And suddenly,
Canyon. It's very American of you.
What do you call it?
A gorge?
A gorge.
No, I think there are anyway, there are differences between
a bloody axe
we can
wound.
still have a canyon here in
Fucking
Australia.
oath, mate.
It just happens to be there's
I actually liked that show.
there's just a grand one in America, but that's
Yes, right.
Sorry.
Our people had it all. The grandest of canyons, the worldest of series. But yeah, I think you've got to be aware of that.
yeah. Yeah, I think for me, like jealousy, it doesn't happen to me a lot, as many of you probably have witnessed over the years. But when I do feel it, it comes from insecurity. From insecurity, not usually with myself, but I suppose it is with myself, but it's with the relationship that I have with that person. So if I'm not sure, then I'll become like, it's just like I want to be like mine.
Possessive.
Be protective of that, and jealously guarded kind of thing.
And that's always going to be the case. I'm sorry to say this, but the truth of the matter is there's always someone who's hotter than you, taller than you, richer than you, better looking than you, bigger breasts, bigger cock. Like, there's always someone who's going to be better than you. What you have to accept is you.
Yeah.
And I think overcoming jealousy is half of that is becoming okay with you. And the other half is being able to communicate your concerns about your insecurities with your partner.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest thing.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was saying, and also accepting that your partner likes you for you. And even though you see all your faults, they see a lot of things that are better than that, right?
I'm always like, but why? Like, look at you and look at me.
Question it. You go, Angela, but seriously.
Literally, our first 5
why?
years
Yeah.
were a lot of the, but
sure?
why?
Yeah. Last question about jealousy. From lived experience, so how have you turned jealousy from, a negative thing into more, this is an opportunity to either grow, learn something about myself, ourselves?
It takes a lot of introspection, and it is in that moment. In the moment, you're not really going to do anything, right? But afterwards, so one thing that we often do is, after a play session, the next day, next morning, whatever, we'll have a check-in. And how was this for you? What were you feeling? What were your expectations? How did that work out? And whenever there's a situation that's maybe not so great, it's being like, okay, why wasn't that great? What did I feel in the moment? Why did I feel that way? How do I feel about it now? Is it the same? Is it different? And it's really not necessarily, you don't want to play the blame game and blame someone else, but you want to look into yourself and say, what was it about me in that situation? And is that something that I am okay with and I can accept, or is it something I need to change? Yeah. And there's definitely things we've identified over the years, and we're continually identifying and working on and trying to improve ourselves and improve our relationships, because sometimes you look at that and you're like, no, actually, I think I reacted appropriately for that situation. I was okay with it. But a lot of times it's like, oh, actually, I really don't like that I felt that way. Why did I feel that way? How can I keep from doing that in the future? And also therapy helps.
Yeah. So. And what about as the partner or the person on the receiving, or who didn't experience the jealousy, but the jealousy is about you, I suppose, or something you did or didn't do? And how have you negotiated that or worked through that?
I'm trying to, I'm terrible. My brain is like a flat line, Lawrence. And I'm trying to remember times that we've had like big issues over jealousy.
Well, when we've had issues, it's the partner is typically, it is looking as to why did I feel that way? What was it about the situation? And is it something I want? Do I want to change it? But then it's also, your partner can be like, great, like that wasn't amazing, but how can I help in the moment? What can I do to help? Is it, because if it is something like we're not secure in our relationship at the moment, we're not feeling good about our relationship, how do we fix that?
Yeah.
How do I make this better? And how do I help to make sure we don't get in this situation? Because it also might be flipped to the next time, right? It's not always the same person who's feeling jealousy. And so for us, it is that like, hey, we're not in a good place right now. How do we fix that? How do we get it better before we go into any other play situations, before we go to the club again or whatever?
And it is one of those situations where we're married because we like each other and we want to make sure we keep liking each other. And yes, we're non-monogamous, but that foundation, that base, like this is what I want to keep. So we will have those, like if it's something that she's jealous about or envious or whatever, half the time I'm completely clueless, right? I don't know. And I think that's true of all partners, regardless of gender. The person who's jealous, sometimes the other person is clearly doing something to instigate it.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. I think I'm going to say this. Hopefully Angela agrees with me. We're really good at not doing that.
Yeah.
We're not trying to start a fire. And there are couples out there that you can literally watch them, and like one of them is doing something just to get a rise out of the other person.
Inspired.
Yeah. And it's this circle of, I'm doing it to get you riled up. We're going to have a fight, and then the sex is going to be amazing as we make up. That is not a long-term goal. Like that is a cycle that spirals, right?
Man, that's a fucked up way of flirting, Bradford, I got to say. But anyway, but speaking of flirting, I do want to shout out our sponsors, flirtadultstore.com.au. If you head to their website, you can get all sorts of different toys and stuff to bring along to the club. Maybe your partner gets really jealous of you using a big 13-incher. Your butt, who knows? I don't know. Whatever gets you going.
You're so into butt stuff with these toys.
Why not? Anyway, so if you use code SECRET15, SECRET15, you can get 15% off your order, and let them know that you came from Swapping Secrets podcast.
For our secret spot.
Can I add something that may not make the actual podcast, but sure. I have this brilliant memory. Angela and I have the home defense dildo. It's a steel rod enforced dildo. And I remember you and myself and a couple of other people having a competition on who could deep throat it farther.
I have a video of that still. It's around your table in your old place. Yes. And Lawrence is at the top, like the tip of the table. Yes. And I think you actually deep throated the most.
You I think went Lawrence, farther than me by about 2 millimeters.
Yeah.
But what I remember is
of that. I was envious. Yeah. There we go. There's my envy. I was so envious of
Were you envious of me or the cock?
Of you being able to deep throat that cock. I was like, how do I do that? I was like, I can't open my throat big enough for that. I just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I gagged. I was like the worst.
You were.
Close your eyes and think of the Lord.
What?
Oh God.
Oh my God.
Keep all that in, Jason. That was brilliant.
I do want to move on to the main topic, the meat and potatoes of this conversation, which is boundaries. But I suppose like the boundaries that we set for ourselves are obviously an attempt to safeguard the relationship and maybe minimize or avoid feelings of jealousy and envy. So, want to have a chat about that?
Yeah, I'll let you look at me for the chat.
I follow up with a conversation.
I'm not the knowledgeable one here.
I talk about this a lot in our newbie night talk, but I'm keen to hear what you all say. I can give you my definition of like the difference between boundaries and rules,
Oh, yes.
especially in
Yes.
non-monogamous.
Yeah.
I want to start there. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, rules they're fucking rules. They're hard and fast. We don't break them. They're always something you have to adhere to. Boundaries are a bit softer. They're ideas of this is what we think is going to happen. This is where we think that we can go to. This is the edge. We're not going to cross over that without some kind of conversation or some kind of acknowledgement or whatever that looks like, because in the moment it may not be, let's sit down and have a conversation about this. But it could just be like, hey, is this okay? You know, I know it was more than we talked about, whatever. But I feel like boundaries are a little bit softer and typically should be adhered to perhaps except in exceptional situations. And rules you just absolutely hard and fast. And like an example for us is safe play. Like we always use condoms with other partners.
Yep.
That is an absolute rule. That's not a boundary that never gets crossed.
Yeah.
Do you have a good
touched
example?
on one in your story before where you had a situation where you, one of you not really feeling up for it, one was more excited, and you were sort of, generally you might go, we're tired, we're going to go because that's what we're going to do. But in this situation, because all these ducks have lined up in a row, we're going to take the shot kind of thing.
And a boundary I've seen from other couples is where they say, we're going to play together, so we're always going to play together.
Yeah.
And then something might come along, someone might come along, and somebody one of the partners has a better connection with them, or the situation is just so. And so it might be like, hey, do you mind if I go and play with this person on my own? And we experienced that actually at Escape this year.
Yeah.
We had a situation where there was a couple who always played together, and at this event, they were able to play separately, but they did have a conversation ahead of time, be like, hey, you know, we typically do this, but I really want to play with this person. I know you don't. Is it okay if I do that? So I feel like that's a bit more of a boundary type thing.
Yeah, we've had a few of those happen before where I think also like we've come in and been like, we have to play in the same room or at least be, say, within the orgy room. But then like, I don't know how some of you guys have the stamina sometimes, but my stamina does wear out after a few orgasms.
Me too.
And I'm like, I need to just tap out and just sit and watch. And then Jamie will be like, well, can I continue? And it's like, well, yeah, if you've got the stamina, I don't. Like, and that's normally like where our boundaries come in play, where it's like, oh, I'm just going to go downstairs and get water, or I'm going to do something else for a second and come back. So it's good to have your boundaries flexible.
I think the one key point to that, though, is boundaries should never be changed in the moment. And I'm going to use a kink example. So when you set up a scene, say for an impact play scene, and you say, you know, how far do you want to go? I have experientially been to that point where I have said I want to go, let's say, to only 6 out of 10, because I know Angela's 1 to 10. But then I get to 6 and I'm high on dopamine. I'm starting to get into that subspace, and I'm like, let's go farther. Let's go farther. And what you need to do is make sure that just because you've got this rush of dopamine, this rush of serotonin, and all these wonderful, lovely chemicals floating around your body, you and your partner don't want to make a decision in that state. It's no different than making a decision when you're inebriated or somehow incapacitated.
Yeah.
You have to make sure that the conversations we have about boundaries and the amendments we make to those boundaries are made with very clear and concise.
Yeah, because you could always come back to that as
Absolutely.
well. Like, especially the kink one's a perfect example. You can always come back and re-experience that situation. You've been like, actually 6 was okay for me. Well, let's try 7.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't have to, like you said, happen that moment.
Yeah, and I think that's an important thing to remember. And I know that Angela and I are both the best and worst people to talk about this topic, right? Because we have been non-monogamous now for 15 years. Yeah. Before we were even dating, we were seeing other people. And then when we started officially dating, like it was one of those things. I told her I wanted to call her my girlfriend, but I wanted to see other people. And her response was, "Oh, thank God, I thought you wanted to be monogamous." She was like, "I'm just getting ready to walk out the bar and leave you." Like, so we've been working on these rules and boundaries. Wow. I know, right? We've been working on these rules and boundaries for a decade and a half.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things is they do change over time, right?
Absolutely.
But speaking of changing them and setting them, resetting them, reshaping them, and I struggle with this a lot, is how to have that conversation that is supportive, supports the freedom of the other person without restricting it, the limits without shame. And one that I face a lot is the pressure that boundaries can put on one way or the other, where it's like if the boundary is on, then there's pressure to sort of, do we get past it, or are we working towards moving past it, or is there pressure to bring it further down? Does that make sense?
It does, but I actually, when I go into a situation with someone else or other people, I appreciate boundaries and limits and knowing where their boundaries are. Because if we go into a play situation and have that quick conversation of, what are you guys interested in? What does play look like? What do you want today, tonight, whatever? Yeah. And they're just like, I don't know, anything. That really doesn't help me shape the situation, right?
I meant more specifically with the conversations with your partner in that. Like, the conversations that you'd have with other people that you might meet for a play situation, I'd expect there to be some boundaries, and I'm not going to sort of dissect it too much about like what they're comfortable with. I just say, oh, that's good. I'm glad I know, because then I don't know where not to cross.
Right.
It's those, I suppose, sometimes more fraught conversations that can trigger defensiveness, that can trigger insecurities with your partner, when it's just like, I don't know, what's
like shame and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, when you sit down to have those conversations, I would suggest not going into it with a mindset of, we're going to make a decision today, we're going to either change or not change our boundaries or rules. It's let's have a conversation about why I want maybe something a little bit different, but also you're going to need time to think about it, to digest it, and to think, what does this mean for me? What does this mean for us? And that can all happen in the conversation, but it also might be walk away not deciding one way or the other. It may still be we need to come back and revisit this, but can we think about it? Is it something we can talk about? Is it something we can address? Or is it an absolute hard no for you and we're just not going to address it?
Yeah, and I think the other thing is, like, it's foolish to think that we can sit down and set boundaries and rules in an hour. Yeah. I think, especially for new couples coming into the community, you don't know what you don't know. You don't know how your feelings are going to be. You don't know how you're going to react when something happens. If you've been with the same partner for 20 plus years, and we've run into this before, you really don't know what you're going to think when you watch them kiss another person, much less fuck another person. Like, it is a moving target. And there's nothing wrong with that. Don't put the pressure on yourself of saying, this is all of our boundaries and this is the rules that we have and this is how it's going to be, and it's written in stone and it's never going to change, because we as humans are constantly evolving and constantly changing, either our minds, our bodies, our spirits. Yeah. So it's important to play a little loosey-goosey with it. And meaning, don't be hard on yourself and don't be hard on your partner, and understand that, again, if you're new to the community, one of you is going to fuck up at some point in time. Absolutely. Without a doubt, every couple that we have ever met, one, both, or together, they fucked up, including us. What is it? Have a contingency plan for how you're going to deal with when somebody does break that boundary or does push a rule.
And it does create a space then for a conversation is that rule still valid? Is that boundary still valid? Is it something we should reevaluate? And it's not an easy conversation. And I don't know of a really great, elegant way to start that conversation, because we tend to just kind of grab each other and be like, hey, and just blurt it out and start going with it. We don't neither of us is good at easing into these kinds of conversations.
No. How you feeling, buddy? It's what the fuck did you just do?
It's funny, I can actually picture you guys doing that.
Yeah.
Like being in the middle of a session and being like, Bradford, come here.
I do like that Jess said, I can picture you guys doing that. And who did she say? Angela. Which is also assuming that I just fucked up. So.
Well, look, you and I are quite
You've
similar.
known us for a very long time.
Be like, Jessica, and the second I hear the full Jessica, I'm like, oh, fuck, done now.
It's also important to recognize triggers and early warning signs as well in your partner. You sort of like...
Yeah.
You know your histories, right?
Yeah.
The facial expression, something's up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Better abort mission.
Like Angela, she goes over here and she starts doing this. And I'm like, oh shit, she's thinking.
Yeah.
Is that your thinking?
It is. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Interesting.
So talking about some of the boundaries that Angela and I've had, and some of the, she picked up on the always play safe. That is a rule. We always play safe. One of our rules as well is consistent checking for STIs. Like, even though you play safe, condoms, but accidents happen. And we had that. We were on holiday just getting ready. I had just gotten tested, and we were in Hobart, and we were climbing up the top of a mountain, and I got the call from the clinic, and they were like, "Oh, you tested positive for gonorrhea." And I was like, "Well, fuck." And so I immediately texted the only other person I'd been with. I was like, "Hey, mate, I just tested positive for gonorrhea." We climb up the mountain. The entire climb up and back, we were talking about, like, are these acceptable risks?
Is this still something we want to do? Like, all of that, right?
Yeah. And it was it was a great 3-hour talk. Got to the top of the mountain, had some amazing boulder sex. Invite us back. We'll describe what boulder sex is. And then came down, got some great nude pictures at the top of the mountain, came down, was like, this is great. And then had a call from the clinic, and they were like, "Oh, we've got more positive news." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, now what am I testing for?" And that was the voicemail she left for me.
We've got some more positive
news. And come to find out, she meant the news was positive.
Oh,
on retest.
They fucked up.
Yeah, on retest, it was a negative. So I didn't have gonorrhea.
Don't they retest it before they call?
It's supposed to be, yeah.
Well, look, at least I'm not sure how that clinic does it, but we do have a wonderful sponsor called Stigma Health. So they are so wonderful, and both Lawrence and myself have actually done the Stigma Health test, the STI testing. I think you went and did it at a pathology clinic, and I went to my local GP because I wanted to film the whole thing inside. But Stigma Health make it super simple, super easy for us to just basically go in without seeing the GP and just getting all the pathology stuff done and sorted. And they also love us, thank you, and have given us an amazing 20% off for all our guests. So Secret Spot 20, use that code to get your 20% off to get your pathology test sent to you, so you can head to your pathologist and get all of that sent directly to your phone.
Yeah. I do want to touch on discussing boundaries now when you're in an environment with other people. So you and your partner have obviously set your boundaries, or if you're a solo person, you've formulated your own. And then how that, because through experience, like sometimes, especially with newbies that come to the club, they can go, "Oh, that can feel a little bit weird," like, and you're touching on, it's just like, "Oh, it's a bit, I don't know, whatever, let's just go with it." But actually, I've found through experience, it's just like having that very clear conversation up front, so they know about. You can work in obviously the consent chat there too, which works with the boundaries, and you just say everyone knows their left and right of arc, where they can go and play in that sandbox and then just have at it. I kind of just answered my own question. But anyway, can you speak to any of that, please?
We tend to
This is a great interview.
We tend to have just a quick, as we're going up to play with people, just a quick, is there something you're interested in? What do you want? And sometimes it's really freaking obvious who's into who and what's going to happen. But we do have a quick, hard, fast boundaries. I either don't do this, I'm not into this, tonight I want this. If we do encounter situations now where people don't know and they say, like, what do you want? Or, what do you feel like? How do you want to feel? Then they're just like, I don't know.
Angela's like, "Okay, open wide. I'm going to piss in your mouth."
Yeah.
Oh, really?
No.
I was like, that's a really quick way to figure out what you want. Like,
It's you making all this mess.
She would do it in the shower. She's
I
not a
wouldn't do it on the
monster.
bed.
Come
Come on.
On the floor,
Or if they say, I'm not sure, can we just, some people want to get into it, and then they'll let you know if there's something that they don't want, like if you reach a boundary, and that's okay, but it's never great, because then I feel like I'm on eggshells, like, is this enough? Is this okay? Yeah. And I'm constantly checking in, and I don't want to constantly check in.
Yeah, because that can kill the mood, right?
It does. Yeah. So
Is this okay? Is this okay? Is this okay?
Yeah,
Like,
a little bit of that's
sounds
okay.
like a carrot.
Yeah, I consent and constant communication is great, but always having to ask somebody if this is okay, this is okay.
Yeah, so if we get in that situation now, I tend to just be like, okay, great, this is what I want. And you either go along with it, or you can speak up now if you want something different. But I just kind of be like, all right, cool, this is what I want. And
Angela goes full starfish.
Yeah.
So from peeing to starfish, you really hit all the angles, don't you?
Maybe we should have a swingers club in the ocean. Then we could do both,
Well,
right?
I mean, it's already full of
we
semen.
do have the boat party. We have seduction, so you can be
Oh,
on the boat
okay.
in the ocean. I can kind of make that work for you.
Okay, all right.
Coming up soon.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I mean, it's the 7 P's, right? Prior proper preparation prevents piss poor performance, right?
Sorry, say that. Bleh.
Prior
Say that
preparation
slowly. Yeah.
Prior preparation
Nope,
prevents
proper
piss.
preparation.
Wait.
Huh?
Proper preparation. 7 P's.
Okay, start again. Slowly.
Prior
Oh, that's slow.
proper preparation prevents piss poor performance.
I know you've said that before.
It is
My brain couldn't
something
quite
that
add that.
was told to me by a friend that was in the Marines.
It's a military thing.
It's a military thing. Yeah, absolutely. But it's something I think about quite often, even when we come to the club. It's
Yeah.
because we know what we're looking to expect and looking to gain, because the number of times we've come here just as a social thing. We need to see people, maybe see some boobs and dicks, but not to play with them. We just want to be social and talk to people in a safe, free space. Or if one of us wants to play and the other one's not feeling it, typically it's me that's not feeling it. And it's like, you go have fun. I'm going to sit down here and talk to the bar staff, or talk to whoever else is just not feeling it tonight.
Or you can be a voyeur.
Yeah. Or come up here and watch. It's having those, I think that's part of that boundaries thing is knowing yourself, your partner, and your relationship, and what you can do and can't.
Yeah.
I guess is the whole definition of boundary.
Just the tip now.
Ooh.
Delicious.
Let's move on. I enjoyed that chat.
Yeah, it was really
Yeah,
good.
me too.
It's very mouthfulish.
Mouthful.
Well,
I get that a
only
lot.
because they're like, you do indeed.
All right, so we're gonna move on now to just the tip.
Yay! Oh yeah, there's a full like musical thing.
Oh, a sound cue.
I think no, that's the beginning of
It's called Communicate This. There is an exclamation mark.
fucking hell.
The Boundary Translation Challenge. How it works.
Your lovely producer will explain. Hi, guys.
Okay.
Hello. I've
wanna
been
borrow
here the
a
whole
mic?
time. What you'll see behind you, Angela and Jess, is our lovely butt. Jess, if you want to pick that up, there are 2 coloured Post-it notes in there, pink and purple. The pink is for you, Jess, and the purple is for you, Lawrence.
Yay.
What you're going to do is one at a time, one of you pick
Can
up
we
a
make
pink.
them answer some?
Oh,
So
th-
maybe Lawrence and I can answer the pink
You
ones.
could
and
let
they
him.
can
You
do
could
the
let him
purple
answer
bits.
the.
Maybe he needs to
He
finish.
could finish the rules.
Sorry,
Jess is wanting to make up her
I
own
was-
rules at this stage.
I got excited.
You know this game I know nothing about. I'm going to make some rules up. You should play Uno with it.
I wish you play Monopoly and just like, oh, can I just own all the houses?
That's mine and that's mine. I licked it, so it's mine.
That is how I play.
So, how this game works is that Jess, you'll pick up a pink one, Lawrence will pick up a purple one. In there will be a statement that each partner will make in a certain situation. What we want is for Jess or Lawrence to read that statement and for you guys to translate it into a better way of communicating, if that makes sense.
Awesome.
So you get the hard bits, we get the easy bits.
That's right.
I like this game. I'm happy.
Pretty much.
Don't listen to Jess. This
Now,
is great.
it doesn't have to be a direct translation if it's too tricky. It's totally fine. You can just say, well, I wouldn't approach it that way. Obviously, this person, if they're saying this, feels this way. Probably, maybe try this, way of communicating.
Communicate this way.
This is what we might
love this.
encounter
Yeah,
at
this is-
OSS.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
what are we going to encounter? Give us one.
Nose. All right, I got this. Am I pink?
Yes.
God, the listening skills. Like he literally just said you were pink.
Welcome to my life, guys. Welcome.
Hey, I really like this game. I don't have to answer
I like
hard
being
questions.
a guest and not a regular.
I like that I got the easy ones too.
You are irregular.
I'm taking pills for that.
Okay, so the first pink bit I have is I'm probably overreacting.
Yes, you probably are.
I mean, if Jess says
Okay,
it, then
that's me.
if Jess
I
says it, I would go, Jessica, you are overreacting.
Well, you know what? Overreaction is a reaction, and I really like it. But yes.
So, am I looking to, or I mean,
Is this-
How would
is
you
this-
communicate?
do you respond to that, or
Respond
how
to
do you?
that?
How do you?
So, like,
Is that listening skills, Bradford? Do you want us to?
I love how you're trying to get.
Do you want a response or do you want a reframing of the statement? Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
so I'm probably overreacting.
I mean,
I've got.
I can tell you what I personally would
Bitch,
say.
you're underreacting to this.
I personally would say, am I being too much? Or like,
Like,
but that's not exactly reframing it.
I'm being full Bradford, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm thinking I'm probably overreacting, this is going to be awful. I would probably say that to myself. Bradford, you're probably overreacting. Take a deep breath, take a step back, and sort of let's not look at the fine point. Let's look at the big picture. Be a light bulb, not a laser. But that would be what I would tell myself.
And what would you say out loud to Angela?
If you thought you were overreacting, how would you
I'd say, I'm going to get a glass of water. And then if I wanted her to come with me to help review that, do you want some water as well? And so we also do a double tap, not for zombies, but also for zombies. Zombies, double tap.
See, my brain went to double tap in the ass. Sorry.
Anyway,
There's also that.
So we do the double tap and then expect a double tap in response. So at any point, if you're covered with people in a puppy pile or some kind of play space, you'll feel it anywhere. I've felt it here. I've felt it on my shoulder. I've had it on my ankle. And it's just are you okay? And if I can find her back, it's like, yes. And if you don't get that response back, then it is we probably need to step away.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I don't know if I answered the question.
No, you did answer it. I would probably still say I'm probably overreacting.
I mean, like,
but here's my reaction.
I also know I'm prone to overreaction.
Or just, I mean, I probably would say, am I being too much, or is it too? But it might be is it too much? Is it okay? Is this something?
I would personally just add in a bit of, I suppose, inviting them to help me assess. It's just like, hey, I'm not sure of what's going on. I'm not sure how I'm feeling right now. Can we have a talk, please?
And we've had a few play sessions where the couple mid play session will get up. I mean, it's not so that they just ghost us, but like they'll get up and be like, hey, we're just going to run to the toilet or run to do this. Like, I have such respect for that. To be able to pull yourself out of a situation, to have a bit of communication before doing something that one of you or both of you don't want to do.
Yeah.
That is fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It also can be very overwhelming, particularly for new people. So even just to have a moment to be like, hey, I'm really overwhelmed. And it's not that they're going to push a boundary or go too far or whatever. It's just I just need to reconnect with you for a second before we continue on and keep going.
Yeah. All right, next one I got. Yeah. I don't want to sound controlling.
Oh.
There's often a conjunction after that, and that conjunction is but, in which they say something very controlling.
Well, you could say, I don't want to sound controlling, and I'm gonna.
But red flags go up when I hear that. If I hear somebody say that is I don't want to sound controlling, but here's what I'm going to do and what you're going to do, and here's our plan on how this is going to be done.
How would you throw this sentiment out there? You're feeling like you want to.
I would rather just say I would rather, or I'm not comfortable with, or something along those lines.
Yeah, and look, every relationship is different, right? And so, I honestly, this probably is a trigger from growing up and whatnot. But whenever I hear that, I immediately I don't want to be around that person. I don't, because you do want to be controlling. But if this is how you feel and this is what you're thinking, I think a better way to say that, there's two ways really. If it is a positive situation and you're trying to get something that you want, maybe it's a dream of yours, to have this experience, you'll go, "Ooh, can I play director?" If it's a play session, it's an orgy, and you've always wanted to have, someone sitting on your face, someone sitting on your cock, and have someone in each hand. You go, "Ooh, can I play the director and do this?" And we do this and we do this. That's a way of controlling the situation. Now, if it's your partner that you're wanting to change, just say, "I'm uncomfortable with," because that's also what I think that often comes down to is, I don't want to be controlling. I'm just uncomfortable with what's going on.
Yeah. and invite the change.
I like that. Okay, next pink bit. I feel silly bringing this up. So I'm just going to tell you what it is.
I don't know, because I feel like that's perfectly acceptable to say. I feel silly bringing this up.
I know I've said that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not shy about it. I have a long history of performance anxiety, and it was something that I struggled with. But you know, like and that's a whole definition of what sex is. But I would remember saying something very similar to that to Angela. I feel silly. I know this is silly. I know that I'm making a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah. Or even just it may be weird, but,
Yeah.
you know, something like that. Yeah.
I suppose the sentiment is it's like you obviously feel something, but you're minimizing your own feelings before it even gets out the gate.
Yeah.
So the chances are that your partner might minimize it too. So I suppose I would look. I'm guilty of this too, because it feels like a softer way of introing the thing. It's like it's kind of in line with. I think maybe I'm overreacting. This is a bit silly, and like my rational brain is kind of explaining it away, but this is how I feel. And I talk like this when I'm completely rational, hydrated, and fed. But you know, when I'm tired and sleep deprived and whatever,
When you're hungry, you're a bear.
my
He's a
blood
different
sugars.
person when
Anyway,
he's
so I
hungry.
feel silly. It's just like maybe it's just like I think maybe it's just removing the silly. It's just like, hey, I just want to bring something up.
Yeah.
I think adding the silly in there, particularly in that kind of context, makes it feel like there's a bit of shame behind it.
Yeah.
And so it would be, and it's always hard to put ourselves out there and admit that we feel shameful about something. And if you do, like you said, if you remove the silly, it kind of takes that connotation away from it. But also it might depend on who you're talking to, because if you're talking to your partner, I think addressing the shame and where it's coming from is a good thing. And at least depending on the situation, but generally. And so
You could even export the silliness to a non-entity. It's just like some people might think this is silly, but this is how I'm feeling about this.
And I think another way to completely going based off of that, because I do 100% agree. You're minimizing something because you feel like, one, you're the only person that ever felt this way. 100% you aren't. But still, you could say something along the lines of, hey, can we talk about this? Because that's still, I think that the I feel silly minimizes the problem. Can we talk about this? It's an opening door. It's not I want to talk about this. I have to talk. I mean, it is, I want to, but it's not we have to, or we don't have to right now. It gives that person the out of, I see where you're coming from, but can we talk about it in another time?
Ooh, I like this one. Can we put this behind us?
I mean, what are we talking about?
My friend went to dirty.
I know. My favorite position is behind us.
It's not that 13-incher from flirtadultstores.com.au. Don't forget to use secret code SECRET15.
Don't forget to use secret code SECRET15.
I told you
Did
you
you
need my brain
download
work.
that? Is the Wi-Fi in here? Is that the problem? Did you just snort?
He did. I think he's hungry.
Leave that in.
Stop connecting.
I want that as my ringtone.
No, your message tone. When your message
Every time Lawrence texts me.
do that.
You know, I still have on our sound mixer board the goat sounds.
Oh, from Lawrence's goat.
Lawrence's goat sounds. Anyway, we'll share that on Instagram.
What was the question again?
So can we put that
this
behind us?
Oh, yeah.
That or this
So
one.
I am reminded immediately of The Lion King, the cartoon. Remember, like, you know, Simba's constantly worried about, you know, the past. He's worried about the past, and then Rafiki smacked him on the head and it's like, why worry? He's in the past. We are nothing more than the sum of our experiences. Can we put this behind us means one of two things in my mind. If she was to say this to me, it's either I'm not comfortable and don't want to talk about it because I'm not sure how I feel about it, or maybe it's honest and she's asking me, you know, how do we need to wrap this up so that we can move forward? I think
rather than saying, can we put this behind us, maybe assuming that whatever it is, the issue has been addressed and we've discussed it and we've come to some kind of maybe not a resolution, but we're happy with where things are. Maybe like, okay, great. how do we move forward? Yeah, where do we go from here? Something like that. If it is can we put this behind us because I don't want to fucking talk about it? Well, that's a very different problem.
Or I'm tired of hearing it.
And no, we can't put it behind us then because it's not resolved. We're not at a good place with it. But I think if we feel like, okay, like we've talked about this, we've worked out, we're in a better spot, we know what we're going to do next time, we know whatever, then I think it's just simply how do we move forward? Where do we go from here?
And just to add, I don't know if your folks in the community have ever heard Angela speak or met Angela. Angela is the most direct person in the world. And many of these things that are coming up, she says them because that's exactly how her brain is. Like, she's very direct, and like, I love that. I love not having to guess and figure it out. But I think that it comes down to, there are definitely wrong ways to communicate things. Absolutely. But if where the words are coming from are authentic and meaningful and building to the relationship, then they're just words. Like, let's dig down and find the emotion under them. The
intent behind it.
Yeah. Why are you saying those words?
Which comes down to knowing your partner or whoever you're speaking with, and why is it that they're saying that? Where is it coming from?
And it's going to be surprising that I say this, but my grandmother used to say that we were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, so that we listen twice as often as we speak. But I think listening, there's your ringtone. But I think it's an important thing to do, is to do your best to listen to your partner while doing your best to listen to yourself.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. That's going to wrap
That
up.
sounded really somber how you said that.
I don't know.
He's sad. I love you guys.
He likes
Yeah.
we
I
like
want to keep
talk.
talking.
Yeah.
We'll just do another one.
But I'm hungry, as you could see. I was losing my mind just before.
I'm hungry. Aw.
I want to have lunch.
Do you need your nummies?
And in my num
I should have brought him a little bag of Cheerios.
Yeah, just like... I mean, thank you for coming on and like having a conversation, answering those questions. I really like this game, by the way. I'm
It's
guilty of some
challenging.
of these
It's good.
things. Yeah, and it was challenging. Just like, even when you're like, well, I'm a little bit hungry, but even in like an environment where there's no actual emotional pressure, I'm like, fuck.
And that's it. That's a great thing, right?
Yeah.
If there was emotional pressure, if you're up here and there's 8 people around you fucking, and you say, "Can we put this behind us?" They definitely think about their cocks, or dildos, or mouth.
If you've had a big fight with your partner, and the next day, they come up to you and be like, "Oh, well, could we just put it behind us?" Like that. You're like,
Yeah, you're like, well, no, it's not resolved. Sit
Yeah.
down. We're talking about it now.
Yeah.
So, hope everyone out there listening enjoyed the episode. What did you think? You can let us know in the comments, or send us a DM or a voice message in the DMs, and we might even play it on the episode. I've just like hijacked Jess's bit, but
Sorry, I just wanted to quickly just jump in. Before we like run away and leave, this will be released just before the next pendulum party, and I really wanted to plug it because we've got a special twist on it. Do you guys want to tell us what it is?
My penis.
and it's going to be behind you.
It's a special twist. I'm like a duck. Look it up, internet. It's out there. Look it up. You wanna, or you want me? I've told so much talking.
So tell us about the next one.
So this next pendulum on January 16th is going to be a trivia pendulum. So we're going to start at 8:30.
I think that should have been posed as a question. Did you know?
This isn't Jeopardy. Are we in Jeopardy? Oh my gosh.
Shut up, Lawrence.
Wait, is there a shut up, insert name here? How would you reframe it?
Let's put that behind.
Yeah, but the next pendulum on January 16th is going to be a trivia pendulum. So 8:30, we're going to start with a little bit of trivia to get everyone in the mood, some sexy stuff, and see how much we actually know about sex and bodies and whatever the questions are about. Who knows?
Basically, it's a terrible mistake where Lawrence and Jess give me a microphone and an hour to talk to people, and it's so much fun.
Isn't that the biggest sex organ is the brain?
Okay,
Something
well,
like that.
obviously we
Something
can't
like
use that one now.
Some
God.
kind of addict.
Well, I mean, maybe on you, but I have a really little brain.
Where can people find you on socials, all the good stuff?
So we are at By the By Podcast on Facebook and Instagram only. I know, right? You can find us. Our podcast is everywhere. We are By the By Podcast. That's BYTHEBI. You can also find us on Patreon, but we've got a Discord channel set up to where we've created a community of wonderfully beautiful, funny, kinky, sexy fuckers that get to chat with one another. I think the other thing that I would love to talk about is Escape to the Tropics, which is a getaway that we host each year up in far north Queensland. And Lawrence, you went one year.
Twice?
Did you go twice? Okay.
Twice.
Ooh,
Once, no twice.
okay.
Repeat
We
visitor.
went once with them, and then we've been a few times.
Yeah. So it's when Angela, can we tell the dates?
Yeah. So it is November 9th to 15th this year. And we'll get some information out in the not too distant future. So if you're interested, just get in touch with us.
And
Let
you
us
can
know.
find out more about that.
It's a resort takeover.
It's
a resort takeover,
Resort takeover with
thought you were
like-minded people.
Yeah. It's
Doing
a
daily activities.
so
fun.
we run sessions on education. We do a full dungeon day in a resort, which is hilarious.
Yeah, and we take over the resort, so that way we have all of the rooms. There's a pool, so lots of time for sexy things and
the
connections.
Yeah.
Pool was
Yeah.
good, and their little bridge.
And then a fuck room.
Yeah.
It's good,
The
good
fuck
for
room.
connections.
Yeah.
Yeah.
www.bytheby.com, and you'll be able to find that. Do we still have .com actually? Okay, good. I couldn't remember because we had .com.au, and then I think we finally got .com. Anyway,
Yeah.
cut that.
Oh, no, keep it. It's we like the more the merrier. The more the merrier.
More the merrier. Someone else is hungry.
Yeah, a little bit. So if you want to find us, Swapping Secrets for Instagram and TikTok, Swapping Secrets Podcast. Sorry, not just Swapping Secrets. If not, our secret spot on all the social media platforms you can possibly think about. Yes, we have them all. Or you can come bug us at an event and just come along to the club itself.
Don't forget to spank that subscribe button, and we'll see you sexy people at the club soon. Bye, everyone.
Bye. I don't know where to look. It's everywhere. Hello, everyone.
It's a bukkake fest. Where am I looking?